Hello, it's Thursday. I'm just in the absolute best mood today. Something, I think it's with Venus and Vesta in conjunct the North Node in Taurus. It's about home, it's about love, it's about divine feminine, it's about female power. And I just feel so incredible. I feel that their turning points are being reached in the collective and individually. And one thing I am not having yesterday, I was having whiskey at 10 a.m. I was doing Peaky Blinders. Guess what I'm having today? I saw it on, somebody did a Facebook post or some sort of a post or YouTube. It's a little bit of lemon mixed with olive oil. It is so freaking good. Like, don't knock it. It's, it just tastes so good. Like, so healthy. And so besides that, I did post that said that I'm seeing some traction, some actual movement on my YouTube channel, which I've been told would hit it big. And then of course I feel my connections happening, but ultimately what I want to do besides my TV series, which I feel like that would give me people would tune in then, you know. My TV series is set in Donatella's house. It's the 1400s, it's Venice, it's the Grimani Palace, but it was my house, it was my father's house, and and I'm still in my house. And what I had visions last night of doing let me backtrack. This is a very, not too coherent, not too coherent here, folks. Whoops. Yesterday, I took a drive past the house that I grew up in. It isn't far from here. It's about 20 minutes, and a lot of beautiful things happened there. Loved my family very much. We played. We had a beautiful yard. We had Christmases there. I wrote there. I did art there. I went to school there. I had friends there. I had love there. But a lot of really bad things happened. It was sort of imploding genius. Somebody had said that, imploding genius. A lot of my mother, my father, my older brother, my younger brother, it was there was madness, there was addiction, there was a lot of psychic trauma, which I've withstood. But anyway, I went by the house yesterday, and it's been totally renovated. This was about 10 years ago, and it's the most beautiful house. It's the most beautiful house on the block, and one of the most beautiful in the neighborhood. It's all spick and span. It was a big green yard. The trees were so beautiful. Large trees. There was a boat in the yard, but it had been restored, and it jogged my memory, my feelings, that what I would really like to do is do an art house, which I grew up in, like a ranch house. This house now, I have different levels, but I grew up in a ranch house. Like, you go down the hallway and all the rooms are there, and I have had repeated visions of doing an art house about the size of the house I grew up in, where each room would be a different theme. And I don't have much from my childhood or from my parents or grandparents, very, very little, like nothing. But I do have from my children's childhood, and my writings and diaries and papers and books. And I have a lot of artifacts, I would say. My husband calls me a hoarder, but I say, would you call Elvis a hoarder? If you go to Graceland, it's all Elvis's things, but there's warehouses of everything, every receipt cataloged, and they change things in and out of Graceland. Andy Warhol also had a box every day with all his receipts and what he did that day. So it's you know, the impulse to save, to record photographs, movies, diary, to save the artifacts. But this is also an artistic impulse, and I see the rooms of different themed rooms of things that I've saved, whether it's the children's toys or my artwork. I was also a painter, an abstract painter. My children, particularly in younger years, were extremely prolific. Their artwork, other people's artwork that we have, and there could be the art room. I see my movies. I just had these visions last night, all my massive movies that I've done on YouTube and Facebook, but they could play on repeat on the walls, and some are outdoor scenes. And you know, I would have sound and light people to do this, but it would be a full-on experience when you enter a certain room. It could be the outdoors, it could be a moody theme, sound, lights, and interactive objects of, you know, whether it's a bedroom, whether it's a kitchen, whether it's a children's room, whether it's a room of dreams or nightmares. And then get this, I thought, well, it's, and maybe perhaps gardens outside, but, and things would change in the room, so it would be a changing exhibit. And it's Donatella's house. In a sense, some rooms could be themed around Donatella and that whole story, and other rooms. But I was like, well, we need, you know, there would be, you know, a fee, you know, to go see it. There would be, this is why I got to seal the deal to get the money to pull this off. It'd be like my own museum kind of out in the country, like kind of Crystal Bridges in Arkansas is a freaking phenomenal museum, and it's in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas, Bentonville, and it's an incredible museum with geodesic domes and waterfalls, and the walls, the light, the way it's structured is part of the museum, and it's incredible. So it would be a museum not in a city, but in a more, my museum, in a more remote area, kind of like Alice in Wonderland inside Donatella. You would enter this world that I've created, and people can interact with it, maybe leave notes or tell secrets, things like that. But I was like, well, it needs upkeep and it needs security, because you can't have people in the rooms doing things. And I thought, oh my goodness, for the security, dwarves, because I just think they'd be incredible, and they would be kind of the guides through the rooms, maybe explaining things, but also bodyguards. And I, of course, Donatella's bestie was Filippo the dwarf, so it's so apropos. And anyway, this is my incredible visions, and it's going to be a super cool sound, light, art, theater, interactive performance experience that, you know, nobody's really done, because, well, why would they want to? This is my vision.